guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is so very special. We're gonna get ready with me with a bunch of new makeup, but our star of the show today is gonna be the Kryptein Cosmetics Tulip Dreams palette. This is the palette that is gonna launch on October 20th. I'm so excited for this. Of course, we are going to achieve this look using this palette, but I'm also going to show a few more looks in this video so that you can get more inspiration looks with this palette. So excited. I'm also going to showcase the newest launch from Huda Beauty with their powder blushes. So I'm definitely going to test out their lippies, some of the blushes. I really love the way how this turned out. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, let's begin. I'm going to start off with my face. I know the primary focus is going to be the Kryptein Cosmetics, but I just want to do my face also with you guys. I'm taking my Merit Great Skin Primer. It's more like a skincare step for me, more than a primer. And I feel like whenever I'm going with like stick foundations, actually not even like stick foundations, but whenever like fall or winter hits, I feel like this is like such an essential product for me. It definitely gives me a glow, as you can see, and helps to like slip and slide the product really well, especially when I'm going with like a stick foundation. I'm taking my Merit Beauty's stick foundation too, and this one is in the shade Buff. As you can see, it's lighter on my forehead just because I am a little bit more darker here on the forehead area, but everywhere else it matches me really well. And I'm just gonna buff it along the face. As you can see, it blends so very nicely. And Merit actually did introduce a lot more shades in their line, which I feel like this is such a compact and an elegant product. I've traveled with it like tons. It's so convenient and it gives a decent amount of coverage too. I really like that. So that's like one light layer and that's ample for me. Okay, now for the concealer, I'm taking my Nyx Bare with me concealer. And this one, I am in the shade Light Tan. I'm just gonna stamp that right where I need my coverage. And then I'll go back with my foundation brush and just buff everything out. Taking my Huda Beauty powder just underneath my eyes. I pack this powder right in the center of my face just to give that extra blurriness. I'm going with my Bare Minerals pressed powder all across my face. And this one, I am in the shade 35 Medium Cool. Now for the bronzer, I'm going to take my Makeup by Mario bronzer in the shade Medium Dark. Did you see the new Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette? It looks so pretty. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna grab it or not, but it looks super pretty. Definitely more cool tone friendly. The only thing that why am I thinking is just because I definitely have those shades in my collection for sure. It's just a matter of like the formula. If you like the formula, you'll absolutely love it. Okay, now let's move on to the highlighter. I'm taking my Rare Beauty highlighter in the shade Mesmerized. This is more like pink leaning highlighter. Look how blinding that is. Now once we have that, let's move on to the blush. I'm going to take this newly released Jason Wu blush. I picked out two shades, these two. This one is in the shade Hydrangea and this one is in the shade Magnolia. Intrigued me so much. Let me show you the shades inside. Definitely more pink leaning. This is definitely more cool tone pink. And this is more like a peachy pink. So today, because we are leaning more into pinky tones, I want to use this and see. So let's do that. Definitely pigmented. I can definitely see it on the brush. Yeah, I definitely can see it. I took like a loose fluffy brush. This is from that Ariel collection with Morphe. I like that. I really like that. Definitely much prominent on my face. Like really pretty. Okay. Now let's move on to the eyes. because that's what you're here for. So this one is the newest release from Kryptein Cosmetics. This is how it comes in. It's the first time that they are doing a 5-pan palette. This is the cover that it comes with, but the packaging of this palette is my favorite that they've ever done. They've always done this, like, you know, a rainbow-esque leather looking, faux leather looking packaging. But this packaging, I mean, this is so pretty. Let me show you all the palettes that I have from them. This was my first palette, the Burnt Forest palette, which was also like pretty much like a foresty vibes, as you can see. I use this so much, especially these two shades. My favorite, like beautiful. And then they came out with Crazy Violet palette. You know how much am I a big fan of the purples. So this is in my constant rotation too. They had a sister palette to this when this was launched. It was called Atlantis palette, which was a blue palette. Totally regret not buying it. And then this one came in, which is called Tulip Dreams. This is gonna launch on October 20th. Look at the shades. It's so pretty, you guys. So pretty, so complimentary too. I feel like this is going to be such a beautiful sister palette to the Crazy Violet palette. Like, I feel like it's just perfect together. Like, look at that. It just goes so beautifully with one another. I really love it. I don't see any like overlapping shades. Towards the end of the video, I'll definitely like swatch it and show you if there is like anything close. But we're gonna play with this, very excited with this. I am gonna go to church today, so I am gonna do one look using this palette, but of course I'm gonna do more looks off screen, so I'll plop it on the screen for you guys when you see it, so that you get like more inspiration on like what all can we do with this palette. There's so much that can be done. I actually feel like we should use with we should start with a darker shade. So let's start with this green. I love their formula. That's not a news to anyone who watches my channel. The pigmentation is there. The blendability is there. It's just a matter of what color story speaks to you. I really love their formula. And if you've not tried Kryptein Cosmetics, like just give them a try and see, because I feel like their quality is at par excellence to some of my favorite indie brands that I have in my collection. I don't regret buying anything. By the way, obviously, this palette was sent to me in PR. That's why I have it before the release. This palette is gonna launch on 20th of October at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will retail for $32. I have a code with Kryptein Cosmetics, which is Smithy Sony, to save you 10% off. But they also have free shipping option till about 27th of October. If you tend to buy it like before that, and if you want free shipping, then I don't think there's any code needed, but you won't be able to stack my code on top of it. But after 27th, if you are buying it, you can get it for 10% off using my code SMITHYSONY. So now, once we have that on the outer part of the eye, look how stunning it is. I really love it. I feel like this eye is my favorite. Always. And that's just the shape of my eye, I feel like. Or maybe because I am a right-handed person. This just comes out so much more nicer. This doesn't get to this shape anytime. Okay, once we have that, I'm gonna just take the same shade, this one, the deeper green, on the outer corners of the lower lash line too. Just on the outer corners, just to mesh everything together. Just right there. We're gonna use everything today, just so that I get a hang of all the shades of the palette. Okay, now let's take the lighter tone green shade here. I love these kind of shades when they do it. I think we had a similar shade in the Burnt Forest palette. I'll definitely give it a comparison for you guys. And this would help to blend that deeper green so beautifully. Actually, we did have a deeper green in the Burnt Forest palette too. So let me see. I feel like this palette can be like a child to the Burnt Forest and the Crazy Violet palette. Especially if you do not have any of those palettes, I feel like this is such a beautiful starting point to test out the brand too. Because if you use my code, apart from that $32 that is from the palette, it'll come out to be like $28. I think for $28 is so beautiful. And these palettes are always magnetics. Let me check this out. Because generally, Kryptein Cosmetics palette are magnetic. So which makes it so very easy to like customize these palettes too. That's what I love about magnetic palettes. Okay, let's move on to this shade now. Do they have these shade names? I don't think they have shade names. Or do they have it on the back of the packaging? No, I don't think they have shade names. Or if they have, I don't know how to read it because it's in some other language, okay? Okay. Let's take that in the inner part of the crease. Right there. Of course, you can do so many monochromatic looks. Cannot even tell you. Monochromatic looks is going to be so effortless with this palette. And I'll definitely pop some pictures on the screen for you guys. When I go to office, I can do some monochromatic looks for you. That's so pigmented on my skin tone, so it looks so pretty and it blends so nicely with those shades. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna take the same shade on the lower lash line too and blend it with that green. And I'll swatch it on the back of the hand also so that you can see all the shades in action. Let's take this shade. I'm dying to use this shade. Look at that shade, so pretty. Okay, this is definitely going to be the star of the eye look today. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's so pretty. That's such a one and done shadow. And Kryptein Cosmetics just does these shimmers in such a beautiful way. Oh, it's so pretty. I love when they do like smooth shimmers and like toppery shimmers. That's my favorite. When they do like squishy shimmers, the one that like moves around, that's not my favorite formula from them. Actually, from anyone, I would say, just because I have creasy eyelids. But when they do these like smoother shimmers or like that toppery shimmers, it never creases on me. And I feel like it's so much easier to like move around those shades. I'm going to take this deeper green shade that we first used. And I'm just going to tap towards the edges just so that we have a good blend going on. Yeah, and this palette definitely doesn't have any of the squishy shades, which I absolutely love. Okay, now towards the inner part, I'm going to take this shade. So pretty. This is like a gold pink shade. Oh my gosh, it's like a fiery pink shade. Yeah, they definitely have this kind of a shade in their previous palette. I'll definitely give you comparisons. I feel like that would be helpful. Look at that shade. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Oh, that's amazing. Can you see that shift? This pink with those green tones are gonna be amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's beautiful. That's so stunning. Oof. Okay, let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and then we'll do live swatches with this palette. Okay, so the eyes are all done. I'm very happy with the way it looks. Let's finish off with our lips. I'm going to take this lifter liner from Maybelline. This one is in the shade Cross the Line. I have a couple of lipstick options from Huda Beauty too. So we have a gloss and a honey fluff. Let's do that. I definitely wanted to order their lipstick, the bullet lipsticks, which are like my favorite. So I did order like 2 more, but we'll test that out in the later video. I feel like with this eye look, this would match better. And this one is Honey Fluff in the shade Supernatural. So that's like a good, comfortable mauve shade on the lips. especially mixed with that lip liner, the deeper lip liner. Now we are going to top it off with this gloss, and this one is in the shade Strawberry Lemonade. You know, I hardly go with like glosses or like pink lipsticks in general, but I think this eye look calls for it. That's so comfortable. So comfortable. And I just wipe it before I put it back. I really love the way how this look turned out in general. And let me give you a final look. I really love. I cannot even tell you how beautiful I feel and look with this eye look. It looks so pretty. Everything came out so beautifully. Let me start swatching this palette. Let's go from light to dark. So these are the first 3 shades of the palette. Let's swatch it. The first one is definitely more like a pink to a gold shifting shade. And the second one is more like a lavendery purple shade. And then the third one is definitely a multi-chrome. I see like baby blue, gold, pink, purple, everything coming through. It's such a stunning shade, such a stunning shade. Let's also swatch the rest of the 2 mattes in the palette, the green mattes. And these are super like very creamy mattes. Oh, so pretty. So those are the swatches of the Tulip Dream palette. I think they absolutely killed it with this color story. I feel like you can do so much even with these 5 shades. You totally can do a monochromatic look using this. You can do a matte look with this. You can put like this shade, and this shade to get like such a fun, because it shifts to a green and gold too. Both of these are multi-chromes for sure. Like so pretty. And today of course I had to use all the 5 shades on my eyes for you guys, just to see if there's any skipping or anything like that, and I'm happy to inform there's no skipping at all. Okay, now let's do a comparison with the other shades in the palette, in the Kryptein Cosmetics line. Of course I am missing the Atlantis palette, so I cannot compare it with that, but let's start off with this, because I feel like this was the palette which gave me like the majority of like shades. So we're gonna do these 2 greens first, and we have these 2 greens here. So let's watch it and see if it is super comparable or not. Okay, so let's put this and this here. I definitely see a difference. Okay, I'll show you side by side. This is from the Burnt Forest palette, and let's take the Tulip Dreams now and take the green shades out of this. This palette is definitely more cool toned, so let's do shades here and here. You can see the difference. Definitely the Burnt Forest was more vibrant and more warm toned, I would say, whereas these 2 shades are definitely more cool toned. Okay, so I'm very happy that they are not giving repeated shades. Okay, now what? I think that is it from this palette. Now let's go to Crazy Violet palette, or Violet Crazy palette. I always say it Crazy Violet, I don't know why. Okay, now let's swatch this shade and this shade. And actually, let's do the center shade too, just so that you can see. So I'll do everything Tulip Dreams first. So these are the 3 shades from the Tulip Dreams. Oh, can you even see it? Let me drag it up. Corresponding shades to Crazy Violet, I would say, is this purple shade. Then I would take this shade, and I would take I don't think anything else would match the other shade, but let's do these 2 first. So where should I swatch? Let's do it here. Yeah, that's definitely different, and let's do it here. Yep, that's also different. Okay. The last one, how do I say? You see a little bit more similarities in the um, shade with this one. Not even this one. Actually, let me do one more thing. I'm going to go back to the Burnt Forest palette and go into this green shade because I know that this shifts to a pink. And I'm going to just swatch it right there. They all are, how do I say, like this one is more like orangey shifting, whereas this one is more like pink shifting. These two both have that blueness to it, but one is like blue to purple and the other one is definitely more like blue, green, pink, golden. Definitely a lot more going here, and these two purples definitely have a difference. One is more pastel and one is more like mid-tone. So I would say there's no dupes at all in the palettes that I am seeing, but on the eyes, how much difference would you see? I don't know actually. It actually would depend on what mattes you're putting underneath, but I definitely can say that these are not like dupes to each other, which I'm very, very happy about. So that was my review using the newest Tulip Dreams palette from Kryptein Cosmetics. I'm so excited for this brand, so excited. Actually, this is another brand apart from like Encelene that gives me that feelings because I feel like their color story as well as their formula, they're so, so beautiful. I really, really love them too. But yes, that's all for today. I'm so excited for their brand to go further and I'm so excited for this release too. Like this is a good venture to dip into the brand, and this would be so good as like a stocking stuffer for holidays. I feel like only come with like these 5 pans for holidays. Okay, I love a good 12 pan palette always. This is just limiting us to more like color stories, but of course because it's magnetic you can customize it. That's my favorite part about it, and I am for sure gonna customize this palette. Okay. But that's all for today. You guys let me know in the comment section below, are you gonna pick this palette or not? Are you excited for Kryptein Cosmetics in general? I really, really love them. But that's all for today. If you did like it, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, we'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.